Is to be back and would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you to the 2012 edition. The high points of this event will be the release of the 13th edition of the publication titled India's Top 500 Companies, a treatise that forms the basis for the day's second highlight, the felicitation ceremony of the Dun & Bradstreet Corporate Awards 2012. And staying with further tradition, I must first introduce the President and Chief Executive Officer, India, Dun & Bradstreet, Mr. Kaushal Sampath.
These annual awards, now in their 7th year, are a tribute to acknowledge and honor the most distinguished performers across the diverse sectors that make up corporate India. At this August gathering, I would also like to take this opportunity to announce the launch of the 2012 edition of Dun & Bradstreet's premier publication, India's Top 500 Companies, in association with Bharathi Cement. This publication, ladies and gentlemen, premiered in 1997 and has hence entered the 16th year of its existence, a very good vintage, I may add, and it has consistently featured the leading companies of India Incorporated that have played a critical role in the country's economic growth through some very interesting times. I would like to congratulate all the award winners who are here tonight, as also all the companies that are featured in India's Top 500 Companies 2012. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the podium the Honorable Chief Secretary, Government of Maharashtra, Shri Jayant Kumar Bantia.
A very good evening to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. At the very outset, let me congratulate the 500 companies, the corporate houses who have made it this year. The fractured polity in the country is obviously leading to a serious debate on the issues of governance, on the issues of decision making. And with the elections around the corner next year, that's going to be a major issue. And I'm pretty sure the business houses are very well aware of this. So it's a big question we have to ask in our own country, how good it is going to be continue to have a fractured polity at the center or in the states. We, as the citizens of this country, have to adjust in the given democratic polity which we have inherited and have to find out the best of the solutions. I wish the award winners all the very best. Congratulations to them, to their companies, to their colleagues for performing. Thanks for inviting. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are very grateful for the association of Bharathi Cement with this event. It is therefore fitting that I next invite to the dais the company's marketing director.
Today, we are here with you all and very happy. In Indian cement industry, if you see, after China, we are number 2 today with 370 million tons capacity is there in India, whereas the demand is only 270 million tons. There is a gap, 100 million surplus is available. I am sure India will gear up to that requirements, and I am very happy with you partner in this event and congratulate all the award winners for their awards in the various sectors. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Canon India Limited has been happily a consistent and encouraging principal partner in this event. It is a delight truly once again to have the company's Executive Vice President grace this occasion. Dr. Alok Bharadwaj, Executive Vice President with Canon India, enough time to regale us with his words. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Bharadwaj.
It's not sometimes a very good time for India Inc. to celebrate, and therefore we need this. And we are hungry for popping up champagne, which I'm sure after your award ceremony you're going to do that. So thank you for inviting me. It is always lovely to be here amongst fellow colleagues from top 500 companies of India, which are the engines of growth for India. And most interestingly, are the ones which are setting up good practices for future, not only for India but for the world. The only difference between a roller coaster and so-called the business cycle of India Inc. or top 500 companies or large enterprises is, to my mind, that one thing gives you a thrill, a real thrill, a good joy, and the other thing is grills, really. And it makes us and our life very tense. For progressive companies, so-called the award-winning companies, so-called successful companies, if we say, in the downturn particularly, what are the interesting things that we see in common? 4 things we see common. First thing that, of course, we see is that the cost reductions are more for operating efficiency enhancement. And the second very important thing is asset acquisition, which is the capex that almost gets hit during the bad time, becomes as an area where acquisition of assets becomes very important, and they do acquire for operational efficiency again. And that's what I call it as basically the assets which are friendly assets, which would ultimately help in the form of improving your efficiency for future. So that becomes very, very vital. And the third thing, of course, is the customer centricity. And the last thing that most of us do during the difficult time is, of course, the focus on our people to make them more effective, more efficient, more in the form of knowledge and skills to be able to compete with the rest of the world. So these events of this kind, where we recognize great performers, are the ones who would ultimately become the leaders of tomorrow. So that's the note that I wanted to share with all of you. Thank you for calling me, and I'll be celebrating when you pop up the champagne.
It gives me pleasure to invite to the podium Chief Operating Officer, Abhibus.com, Mr. Biju Matthews.
Firstly, on behalf of Abhibus Services India Limited, I would like to congratulate each one of you who have made it to the list of Dun & Bradstreet's top 500 companies and corporate awards. What the industry requires today, the e-commerce industry requires today, is a solid environment which brings in all players, including the government, and gets them in the ecosystem to work together to truly unlock the true potential of e-commerce in India. With such growth around the corner, it would be soon that Sampath would come up with India's top e-commerce companies, and we at Abhibus would aspire to be a part of the list. I would like to thank Dun & Bradstreet for this opportunity provided and wish them the very best for the next edition. Congratulations once again to all the winners who made it to the list and the winners for the awards. Thank you.
You will agree we now stand poised at that precise moment when it's time to unveil the 13th edition of India's top 500 companies, suffixed as it is by the year in question, namely 2012 in this case. And so, with our other dignitaries on the dais gracing the movement or the moment, let me invite to the spotlight to do the honors the Honorable Chief Secretary, Government of Maharashtra, Shri Jayant Kumar Bantia. May I request Mr. Kaushal Sampath to assist our chief guest in this very special task. Tonight's next sequence of events, the felicitation ceremony of the Dun & Bradstreet Corporate Awards 2012. But first, let me invite the Honorable Chief Secretary, Government of Maharashtra, Shri Jayant Kumar Bantia, and Mr. Kaushal Sampath to kindly come up on stage and preside over the entire ceremony. To present the first set of awards, therefore, I'd like to welcome Mr. Ravinder Reddy, Director Marketing, Bharathi Cement, to please join our dignitaries on stage. Right then, and so we are set. Our opening category is automobiles, two-wheelers. The best performing company in that segment over the year in question is Bajaj Auto Limited. Let's keep the applause going, ladies and gentlemen. My cue to introduce our next category, automobiles. The winner, Mahindra & Mahindra Limited. One glittering trophy for the showcase, and another one coming up. The winner in the category agrochemicals is United Phosphorus Limited. Next rewarding performance amongst banks. The award goes to HDFC Bank Limited. Up next, something, so to speak, to get all charged up about, batteries. The sectoral winner is Amara Raja Batteries Limited. It's all about bragging rights and peer adulation. That's what the Dun & Bradstreet Corporate Awards are all about. Let's work out who deserves the next round of appreciation. In consumer durables and domestic appliances, Videocon Industries Limited plugged right in. On the night, and at this point, I have to thank our leaving presenter, Mr. Ravinder Reddy. Thank you very much. Our new presenter, Dr. Alok Bharadwaj, Executive Vice President, Canon India, who is stepping up to do the honors. Moving on, bearings it is, and winning a regular habit, I think you've guessed it, SKF bearings. The guys in the cement industry are closer than anybody else to finding out within the next few seconds, actually. The winner is Ultratech Cement Limited. Let's find out how the chemicals sector fared over the last fiscal, or more accurately, who within the chemical sector fared the best. It's Gujarat Fluorochemicals Limited, that's who. I'm already rushing into our next category, which is financial institutions, NBFCs, and financial services. The winner is Housing Development Finance Corporation Limited. Thank you, Dr. Bharadwaj, for making those presentations. May I now call on Mr. Lalit Sinha, General Manager, Alternative Channels, Third-Party Products and Corporate Communications, to do the honors over the next sequence of awards. Moving on, we are revisiting excellence in computing and telecom products. The name that finished ahead of the competition is Redington India Limited. The next of those reserved for the sector engineering and capital goods. And the award goes to Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited. It is the fertilizer sector that we are exploring next. I suppose prudent to say harvest time for Coromandel International Limited. Well, staying with this year, handle with care, because it's glass and ceramics next. International Limited. Well, staying with this year, handle with care, because it's glass and ceramics next. Kajaria Ceramics Limited it is. Rewards fully earned. And before we proceed with the next award, allow me to thank Mr. Sinha. Thank you very much for handing out the last few trophies. And to do the same over the next few awards, please join me in welcoming Mr. Manoj Kumar Goyal, Chief Financial Officer, Abhibus.com. Okay, gems and jewelry are about to be checked out for pedigree, or standard, should I say. Titan Industries Limited finished a cut above the rest. Well, that was top draw performance, and taking just rewards home as a result he is. Let's find out who checked in next, who, or more accurately, which sector. Well, graphite and electrodes it is. As you can see, the Dun & Bradstreet Corporate Awards covers just about everything. All of last year's bright sparks, if I might, came from Graphite India Limited. Of all the classy hotel brands that were in the mix, the one that checked in with the maximum style, should I say, was EIH Limited. It's the liquor category next, a favorite amongst a whole lot of people, I believe. Here's raising a toast to United Spirits Limited for outstanding numbers last year. Mr. P. Ravi Reddy, Director, Mega Engineering and Infrastructure Limited, who will take on presentation duties. No pretense when it came to dominating the iron and steel sector. The work ethic from both management and workforce at Jindal Steel and Power Limited was of the highest pedigree. First up in the category metal pipes, Maharashtra Seamless Limited is a winner all the way. Moving on, we are exploring the non-ferrous metals space. The award goes to Hindustan Zinc Limited. Cue enough to get the pharmaceuticals sector under the microscope. Cipla Limited came out tops this year. Our next incoming presenter, once again, Mr. Ravinder Reddy, Director Marketing, Bharathi Cement. Please, should I say, rejoin us on stage. Sector oil refining and marketing, though, that's just coming up on the marquee. So also getting their name up in lights are the winners, Indian Oil Corporation Limited. In the category Oil Exploration, the award goes to Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited, or ONGC as we more commonly address them. Congratulations to our winner. It's Gas Processing, Transmission and Marketing next. The winner is Petronet LNG Limited. Winning through in petrochemicals and polymers is JBF Industries Limited. I thank Mr. Ravinder Reddy, who made the last few presentations. Let me also welcome Mr. Anurag Bansal, Director, SMC Global Securities Limited. Thank you very much, Mr. Bansal. Over the next few, its success defined differently within the plastic and plastic products industry. Real and outstanding numbers from the Supreme Industries Limited. On a high performance night, the bar keeps getting raised, except that the next bar is made of wood, plywood to be precise. Congratulations to Greenply Industries Limited for dominating the plywood category over the year in question. It's Power Equipment up next. The award goes to Crompton Greaves Limited, shipping is our next port of call. Catching the high winds is the Great Eastern Shipping Company Limited, Thank you, Mr. Bansal, for joining us on stage. May I now once again invite Dr. Alok Bhardwaj, Executive Vice President, Canon India, to do the honors over the next sequence of awards. It's the real estate sector that rivets our attention right now amidst tough times. Soba Developers Limited did enough to enjoy a good year. Ships and sailing in the literal sense next. It's the sector shipbuilding and allied activities going under the scanner. The winner is ABG Shipyard Limited. Okay, it's software and ITES next. Tata Consultancy Services Limited did admirably in the software and ITES space. Specialty oils and lubricants, the sector under scrutiny that is. Finishing top of the pile this year is Castrol India Limited. Thank you, Dr. Bhardwaj. And may I now invite for the third time, Mr. Ravinder Reddy, Director Marketing, Bharathi Cement. Well, victory is always sweet, and I suspect it's getting indefinitely sweeter as we put the sugar industry on notice. Ran away with all the goodies did EID Paddy India Limited. What do we have next? Auto Components always gets a call up at Dun & Bradstreet Corporate Awards. This year, it's a podium finish for Bosch Limited. Next sector, I mean the telecom industry is all about numbers of a different kind. And based on last year's performance, it was Bharti Airtel Limited that displayed the finest work ethic. It's textiles next, and the winner is Grasim Industries Limited. It's the transport and logistics show on the road next. Racing ahead of the competition is Container Corporation of India Limited. It's the food and agro-processing sector coming under the award scrutiny next. Ruchi Soya Industries Limited took top honors. And we're pretty much on the final lap of the awards. Congratulations to our winners. Digging deeper into Dun & Bradstreet Corporate Awards 2012 then, and I mean digging really, really deep. It's mining as the area of interest next. The winner is NMDC Limited. Thank you very much to the gentlemen on the dais. I also take the opportunity to thank all our partners, principal partner Canon India, exclusive banking partner Union Bank of India, investment partner SMC Global Securities Limited, our co-partners Abhi Services India Private Limited, and Mega Engineering and Infrastructure Limited. Automobile partner Nissan, media partner ET Now, and of course our title partner Bharathi Cement. All of that remains then is the vote of thanks, for which I now invite Mr. Pawan Bindal, Director, Dun & Bradstreet India, to do the needful. Mr. Pawan Bindal.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On the occasion of the release of India's Top 500 Companies 2012 and Dun & Bradstreet Corporate Awards, it is my honor to propose a vote of thanks. We would first like to express our gratitude to our chief guest, Shri Jayant Kumar Banthia, Chief Secretary, Government of Maharashtra, for being here tonight and addressing the gathering and releasing the publication India's Top 500 Companies 2012. Tonight's biggest round of applause and thanks must go to all of you representing various sections of corporate India for your support for this publication and tonight's event. Thank you.